What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to cover over 2 airdrops you guys need to be farming right now. Like, this is time sensitive. The snapshots are happening any day. You guys need to get on the ball now. A few months ago, I already did guides on these on my channel, but it's time to make a updated guide, especially with the spreadsheet I just added and some of the new protocols, and mainly because of the Stark token simply hitting the market. This means that time is ticking and the next chain to drop their token is just around the corner. These 2 chains we're going to talk about are Zksync and Linea. But before we go into all of these steps, as well as some of the steps some people aren't talking about to maximize your airdrop, if you guys are new to Drake on Digital, I talk all things crypto, DeFi, NFTs, you name it. If you guys like to stay ahead of the game and keep your finger on the pulse, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, tell me where you guys are watching from. Let's go and get into it. First things first, on this spreadsheet, if you guys haven't seen it already, I made a full video, dropped down like, I don't know, 20 different chains that you guys can go farm and earn some free tokens. Some of the protocols are tokenless and some of them already have a token. But in general, the chains that are going to be farmed, they are tokenless. And speaking of Starknet, like I talked about earlier in this video, even though they did drop a token, there are still a bunch of tokenless protocols on there. It is super underfarmed. In my opinion, it's a really good idea to get farming over there. One is you still get the Stark token. They announce additional airdrops. 2, the yields are really good. 3, you also get exposure from these other protocols of earning a potential token from them. They are tokenless. They're probably going to drop a token. They're going to drop a token. Using their protocol gives you token. Go get tokens. All right, so first things first, let's talk about Zksync. Now, in order to play around with this Zksync game, you are going to need to do one thing that's really, really important. You want to go ahead and fill this little verified 1, 2, and even get this Liberatus Omnibus holder. This will give you the maximization for the airdrop. A lot of people aren't even talking about this NFT. Sure, it's trading at almost, it's 0.08 ETH, but having this puts you at the maximum tier. So in my opinion, I think it's a pretty good idea to at least have one of these NFTs. Sure, is it going to sell off when the airdrop comes around? Probably, but is the NFT going to be worth it? In my opinion, yes, it is. There's only 131,000 items, so this kind of limits the amount of people that can sybil, or you know what I mean, get in the highest tier of this airdrop. So that is the first thing, getting one of these NFTs. If you need all of these links, they are going to be on that spreadsheet, so just access that spreadsheet. Now, secondly, I kind of want to cover over why Zksync. There are a couple of catalysts for it, and I've highlighted them here. But first, it's a tokenless chain. This thing raised over $450 million. And with Starknet raising 225 mil at a $20 billion FTV, I mean, dude, that's all I can say. Second, it follows the ZK narrative. Yes, Starknet is the first one out there, but Zksync has been working on it for a bit. Not as long as Polygon, but still, it's something to keep in mind. It's not heavily farmed. If you take a look at the TVL, it's around 152 mil. You might think that's heavy, but just go look at Arbitrum and Optimism for more perspective. Fourth, it has a few tokenless protocols, so I do expect some more airdrops. One of them that came out a couple of months ago that was really, really lucrative was Maverick. Maverick is still on here. Yeah, here it is. Mav.xyz. All you simply had to do was provide liquidity and a certain amount, earned a certain amount of points, and you got a couple of $1,000s for free. And depending on how much you had in there, you could have gotten at least 5-6 figures, depending on the allocation, how long you were deposited, and how much you deposited. Now, some of the other protocols to use is Arrowlend. Arrowlend is basically a money market and just lending out and borrowing some tokens on there. SyncSwap, this is simply another swapper. Reactor Fusion, this is also another money market. Then you have something like Velocore. This is a DEX. I'll show you what some of these look like so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But basically, when you go to this DEX, you just want to buy, sell a couple of tokens, ETH, USDC. No, you don't need to leave it in the protocol. Your goal is to just go ahead and get some volume and get some transactions going through here. You want to interact with multiple contracts. And the reason I say this is, like I said at the beginning of the video, you see this section right here, have 10 transactions. This is basically a minimum. You want to have multiple transactions because this kind of puts you higher than the rest of the others. And you also want to fill out this Gitcoin Passport Humanity Score. You can simply look up the Gitcoin Passport to go ahead and fill this out. This is also on the spreadsheet, so you guys can do this. But this is how they're preventing people from sibling their account. And it's kind of like their on-chain KYC, whatever you want to call it. But going back to one of these protocols to show you kind of what it looks like, this is Velocore. Simply what you're going to do is you're going to go on here, make a swap, and you simply just go to the pools, and you can choose volatile, stable, whatever you want, and select the tokens you want to deposit. Me personally, I would say stick with the blue chips like ETH and USDC. Be careful of slippage. Again, we're not really maximizing the farm droppage on this because Velocore already has a token. But if you are trying to farm for a bonus airdrop, look for the tokenless protocols. Like Mav already has a token. Now, another thing that you do want to get is to get one of these ZNS domains. Yeah, you kind of did miss out on the token that they had for it, simply just for minting it. But this will at least create a, hey, look, I'm a non-civil account. I do stuff. Also, to contribute to a non-civil account, it's probably a good idea to mint a NFT. This one is the Alpha Egg. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, quad dozen, whatever you want to call it. Just get some eggs and then go to Element Market and potentially buy, sell a couple of different NFTs. Again, you want a non-civil account. Most of the bot accounts aren't going to be holding NFTs or trading them. They're mainly going to be swapping a bunch of stables on some of these dexes just to drive a bunch of volume. So your goal is to set yourself apart from the rest by being a non-civil account. So that ZNS domain will also help with that. Next, you want to play around with these other dexes as well. You can play around with Mute. I would recommend playing with Derivo. Derivo does not have a token. The same goes for Zoma. This one doesn't have a token as well. These are perp dexes, but again, those links will be in the spreadsheet so you guys can access them. Don't go nuts and ham with this. Like, you can lose a lot of money doing leverage trade, but just do like an open, close, and potentially even put some funds into some of their vaults if they do have a vault similar to like GMX. Another one is like ZK Swap Finance. Play around with some of these pools, farm, make some trades. Just, guys, interact with as many contracts as you can. Now let's go into the second one. This is Linea. Now the catalyst for Linea is these guys raised over $750 million. And their proposed valuation was over $7 billion. These guys are tokenless, and this is the same team behind Consensus and MetaMask. They also have a proof of humanity, I'll show you guys in this video, that protects against civil accounts. Sure, it may be a bad thing, but it's also a good thing because it's not going to be like super roasted, overfarmed, and like, why am I doing this? And it also has, oh, what did I do? A few tokenless protocols. And of course, it's a ETH L2, so it's that shiny little chain meta, whatever you want to call it. Now, going into Linea, you can see here the TVL is around 70 mil. In my opinion, that is pretty low, especially with the type of valuation they raised at. In my opinion, I'm looking at it like, okay, this is a pretty underfarmed airdrop, especially with the proof of humanity. Now, you can access the proof of humanity through the Linea Voyage XP. These will earn you some soulbound tokens. These could potentially be converted to some of the Linea tokens. Who knows? But what I do know is that they are going to have a token because they want to decentralize this junk. And the best way to do that is with a token. So you can access this link as well, also in the spreadsheet. Again, all these links are going to be in the spreadsheet. Proof of Humanity, the Linea Quest, the Layer Bank, which is a protocol, the Bridge, Izumi, NFTs to mint, Horizon Dex, all this stuff is going to be here. But walking you through it, the very first important thing that you need to do is complete the Linea on-chain compass. in addition to that proof of humanity, which the proof of humanity is over here. I've already done this, so I don't really need to do it again. But you basically just follow the steps that it provides. You connect your wallet, and then you have these different attestations. So you can do the passport, PayPal, trust, whatever. Your goal is just get your wallet verified. Do whatever you need to do. I don't care. I'm not your mom. I'm not your dad. But your goal, just get your wallet verified. Pass that. Proof of humanity. Solid. Step 2, do these quests. It's really redundant. It's kind of boring. It's really annoying. But go on to these different quests and complete them. Make some transactions on chain. Guys, you don't want to look like a Sybil, so you also want to get some NFTs, trade some NFTs, and of course the proof of humanity. You also want to get one of these Linea names. It's going to cost you like 0.002 or 0.003 ETH. It's not super expensive. So it's going to cost you like 10, 15 bucks. Next, you want to swap on some of these dexes, drive some volume. And some of these protocols don't have a token. This one already has a token. EchoDex does, but still, hey, you can attend and get some points. And of course, this counts as a transaction on chain. But you check in, get some points, do some stuff, make some interactions. Again, your goal is you're farming the Linea airdrop. And if you are looking to get some gravy and some bonus points, farm some of the tokenless protocols. It's super easy to tell if they have a token. Just go on Dex Screener and type in the ticker, or simply just look and see if they got a token, or you can join in their Telegram and see if they have one. On the spreadsheets, some of these are tokenless, like Mindy Finance. These guys already have a token. Gravita, these guys do not have a token. In my opinion, this is a saucy one. It's a CDP vault. I'll show you what it looks like, but it's a really good idea to lend out some ETH and borrow their Grav token against it. It's just like MakerDAO. But I think this is going to be a juicy airdrop, just like we saw with Maverick. The reason I say that is because not a lot of people are farming it. And these guys raised a lot of money, and they have some good investors behind them. Lend to this, borrow some tokens, costs you nothing. Well, actually, it's a 0.05 or 0.5% borrow fee. But other than that, dude, gives you interactions, allows you to farm and get Linea, and it also allows you to get the Grav Vita token if they have one. Izumi already has a token. Horizon already has a token. Linea Quest, Proof of Humanity, we had to do those anyways. But yeah, the biggest one that doesn't have one is Gravitas. So focus on that one. Now, next, again, you don't want to look like a civil account. So mint some NFTs or like a Linea Punk. These actually look kind of cool. And you also want to buy and sell a couple of NFTs. I use Element Market. Element Market is pretty good. But these guys go on Linea, on Zksync, they go on Starknet, they go on all of them. So buy and sell and trade, hold, just get some NFTs so you're a non-civil account, guys. It's simple. Now, of course, you want to use the main Linea bridge. This is something you would do at the beginning, but I'm expecting you to watch this whole video to see the whole gig. But you're going to use MetaMask for this. Remember, MetaMask, Consensus, Linea, these guys are like the same peoples. So with that in mind, if you have a MetaMask, then you don't have to get one. You just make some swaps inside that MetaMask and even fund your wallet with their on-ramp that they already have. This allows you to have that interaction on MetaMask. You can do it on mainnet and you can do it on Linea. I recommend both, but it is gas intensive, so do keep that in mind. Try to do it on slow days. One of my favorite tools to use is TX Street. And most of the time, Friday nights are going to be your slowest day. But if you go to TX Street, they have like a animated version that you can actually see what's going on and tell what the mempool looks like. It does it for Bitcoin and ETH. So this is kind of what it looks like. 25 Gwei, not too shabby, but that's on a Friday night. Most of the time, you're sitting at like 35, 40, 45. So Friday nights are your time to do like DeFi stuff and not hang out with your girlfriend, but whatever. Now, the next one that I would recommend using is Mindy Finance. I actually like Mindy. These guys are legit. These guys are good friends with the team over at Linea Finance, but they offer really good yields. So you can lend out some stables, lend out some ETH, and you can get a spicy yield. And the Mindy token is a sub 1 mil cap. Not saying to buy it, but I do think Mindy is a pretty good token that you can farm. And when the liquidity starts flowing into Linea, I expect it to be like one of those shiny objects for people to gravitate towards too. Notice what I did there. Gravitate, like, you know, the Grav protocol. Don't forget to farm that. And last but not least is completing Linea Park. I'll drop the link on the spreadsheet as well, but simply going to layer 3 quests. This will allow you to complete these different quests. You literally just do exactly what it says. So you bridge onto different chains and you're going to get some XP points for this. And you also want to complete Linea Park. Linea Park is newer, but you simply just want to complete each of these quests. These do come out every other week or so, so make sure you're checking back into this. Right now you can do the Linea Park entrance and you would complete these layer 3 quests. Now, in general, they are kind of annoying and boring to do, but just do it. It'll get you some XP points. It costs you nothing, maybe a little bit of time, but go through the guides, go through the quests. You get some LXP points, and these are soulbound tokens that are minted to your wallet. These could potentially be redeemable for the Linea token. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, drop me a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you guys want to join the exclusive Discord, there's a link in the description below. I share content that I don't share on YouTube, as well as talk to you guys about what I'm doing in the markets. And if you guys want to access this full spreadsheet, it's going to cost you absolutely nothing. It'll be in the description below so you guys can access that to get all the links for Linea as well as for Zksync. I will be covering a couple more airdrop videos as well as we go. I made the spreadsheet, so we got to get into it and break it down. Anyways, guys, hit you with Proverbs chapter 18 verses, ooh, I like this one, 9. One who is slack in his work is brother to one who destroys. Guys, if you're going to do something, do it with all your might and the best of your abilities. Be good, be righteous. Peace.